we have Sam Shankland, who's just come out the playing hall, and a very successful afternoon for you, Sam.
Yeah, I think I played my first genuinely decent game at this Olympiad, and it feels good to have played well.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, before we go through the game, US team is motoring, I think we could say.
Yeah, I mean, we're firing on all cylinders. I don't think anyone is actually playing that amazing. I just think we're all playing solidly. We're all playing what's expected of us, and as the second-seeded team, or we're all even just a little above expectations as a second-seeded team, that's kind of enough. So, I think Wesley's had the best results so far. He's been the most reliable, but...
The match yesterday, I mean, I know you were rested for that match.
Yeah, I didn't play.
But that was incredibly tense, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had to take a walk at some point. I got much more stressed out watching than I would have playing. I mean, I thought that we were fighting to win the match, actually, because when I last saw it was Hikaru had made a draw and Wesley was clearly winning. Ray had a dead equal end game and Fabiano was suffering, and I thought if Fabiano holds, we win the match. But then unfortunately Ray, I think, confused himself and had a bad day. But Fabiano managed to hold on. So.
I mean, in fact, with hindsight, I thought Grishuk actually played a really, really good game. Okay, at some moment, Ray should have just kind of put the brakes on.
No, you credited where credit is due.
Yeah, but Alexander played extremely well.
Sure.
So in the end, I thought 2-2 was probably fair, but incredibly tense. Okay, but listen, we should say also that the current standing in the USA-Norway match is 2.5 to the USA, so they've already won the match with just Wesley So still playing against Ariantari. So anyway, let's go through your game, Sam.
Okay, do you want me to take the mouse?
You can take the mouse. Let me just get the thing to work. But just we need to go through fairly quickly. So Najdorf, and you played exactly this variation in Biel, didn't you?
I did, with colors reversed. Maybe that game escaped his attention. He must have had a hard time preparing for me because I play a bit of everything, and he's playing d4 his entire life and just switched to e4 here. I didn't think his repertoire would be ready. So
what did you play in Biel? Did you play Queen e2 or did you play
Queen? I played Queen e2, h6, Bishop h4, g6, and here I played f4
you played
instead
f4,
of castle. Because after
right.
he castles e5, he's never going to get f4. And in my opinion, this is just not challenging. I think Black has a very comfortable position.
I mean, to me, this just looks like a classic Najdorf position where White's pieces are a little bit misplaced.
It's a classic English attack where I have played knight bd7 instead of bishop e6, meaning my bishop can come to b7. Normally that's bad because White will just play a4 and you're stuck, but he can't do that if his king is on c1. The bishop on h4 is stupid, the queen on e2 is stupid, so I just don't like White's coordination.
Yeah, it just looks funny, doesn't it? I mean, very odd.
Now, I had prepared some stuff, but I think it very quickly deviated. And the point was after king f8, which is pretty typical, bishop f2, king g7, h4. I really had to think here, because how I play right now will dictate the rest of the game. I have to choose if I want my bishop on b7 or if I want to put it on e6. So I calculated some sample lines. For example, bishop b7, and g4. And now I think I wanted rook a to d8. Because I want to play knight b6 without allowing knight a5, so the bishop can come to a8.
Yep.
And if I put the rook on c8 after bishop h3, it's kind of getting hit.
Yep.
But I was even considering some funny stuff here, actually. But okay, something like bishop h3 here, and knight b6. I thought Black was absolutely fine, maybe even slightly better, but somehow I liked putting the knight on b6 more.
Okay, and did you consider in this position? You played knight b6. Do you consider just something very simple like rook b8 and b4?
I don't think I'm ready for rook b8, b4. Say g4 and...
Okay, if you just go for it?
I don't think I'm fast enough. So take, and I'm actually not threatening much of anything yet.
Okay, well he can always play. You can play g5. Oh no, you can't play g5
Okay,
yet.
bishop h3, and I cannot stop g5. I think this causes some difficulties.
Okay.
I remember checking these lines. I think rook b8, b4 was incorrect in these positions.
Okay.
So knight b6, I'd be interested to see what a computer or a strong player would have to say. I was really surprised by g3. I just thought, once he's played a3, eventually I'm going to mate him on the queen side. but he just has to make counterplay. I mean, I was of course expecting g4, and then I was calculating all sorts of funny stuff. For instance, bishop e6, bishop h3, and here I was calculating knight a4. And now, if he takes the knight after ba4, knight d2.
Okay, already looks very dubious.
Okay, he could play g5 instead of knight d2, but then I have ab, and I think so g5, ab3, gf6, and I think actually I can just take with the king, and it's totally fine. So ab, gf6, king f6, and my point is bishop e6. I take everything on c2, and I'm not hanging on d6 at the end, and I didn't see a way for him to take advantage of my king here. So I thought that was pretty nice, but instead of knight takes a4 is bad though. And at first I thought this was just very strong, because if he plays like knight d5, which would be the typical move in this structure, I think I have bishop d5, ed, and queen c3 will win a very important pawn.
Oh, that's a beautiful
trick. I think I'm just winning.
Okay.
But the move I couldn't bust was bishop e1 after knight a4. Bishop e1, and I think it's just complicated. I mean, if I take on c3, bishop c3, f4 could be coming very soon.
Okay, but of course you can wait for the time being.
I can, but g5 is kind of coming, and then if once this knight is moved away and knight d5 comes, then my knight on a4 is just stupid. So I actually wasn't going to do this.
So what were you going to play
instead of bishop e6? I was going to play knight c4, or at least this was my plan. So now I'm threatening knight a3.
Yeah.
I think bishop e1 is by far the best move. And now this here I was struggling a bit. I had a lot of tempting options. I kind of like the move rook b8 now. And after bishop h3, here it looks bizarre, but actually g5, and I think it's very important to stop white from playing g5, and because my knight on c4 stops any queen e3, queen d2, it's actually really hard for white to get at this pawn. And okay, now that the bishop has left f1 and is no longer pressuring c4, a5 is next.
Okay,
so
this looks ugly for both sides.
It does, but I think it's more ugly for white. That was at least the sense I got during the game. I don't have to play g5 by any stretch, but I was certainly considering it. Another thing I could do is just, instead of rook b8, play queen b6, and here just to play queen e3. But I think bishop f2, queen c7, he can repeat moves, and I was already hoping to play for an advantage.
Okay.
There were lots of interesting lines here. After g3, I think white is just worse. I mean, rook b8, and I thought it will just take me a couple moves to generate a huge attack. And bishop h3, I think a5, it's already resign time. I mean, there's just no way white's going to survive this onslaught.
Yeah, this is terrible.
I calculated some funny variations. Like queen c4 here was my initial intention instead of queen c3.
Yeah.
And queen d2, a3, b3, take it, take. Okay, so king a1, rook c2 just wins, but knight b2. And here, I mean, I can play, for instance, rook c2, queen c2, a2, king a1, queen c2. And I'm sure I'm just winning this, but somehow I didn't like it. I don't know why. Like, if he plays rook d3 here...
I guess you're going to stop.
Okay, but I thought... I mean, it's certainly winning, but somehow I felt queen c3 was better. And after king c1, I wanted to... I think rook takes b2 wins, but... and knight takes b2, a3, knight d1, queen a1 check, king d2, a2, but I thought queen c4 was better, and now my point is, after queen d2, I have the a2 square, and here, I mean, it's just completely gone, there's nothing, and I take I'm up 2 pawns, the bishop's soon coming to g5, third pawn, I mean,
it's horrendous, yeah.
And I think g3 was... And then bishop h3 lost the game on the spot, but it was already difficult. He could have played queen e1, for instance, and I can't yet play a5 because b5 is hanging in next. He could play knight a2 and control the a5 and b4 squares, but still, it's just very pleasant.
I've just seen the match is actually over because Wesley drew with Tari.
All right.
So 3-1, very healthy victory for the US team.
That's our strategy: draw with white, win with black.
Yeah. Well. So who have you yet to play? Because basically the USA is in a strong position because
we've played basically everyone.
Most of the big teams. So who's
we
next?
haven't played Azerbaijan. We haven't played China.
Okay, so
and both of those teams are very strong. But I mean, China's been really suffering. I don't think they'll be on the top boards. And I don't know. Azerbaijan is playing Russia today. I have no idea how that match is going. But if they lose, I don't think we play Azerbaijan.
Okay.
I mean, there are still very decent rank and file teams like Netherlands or something that is quite strong. But I think we'll be pretty heavy favorites.
Really top teams you've played already, so
the only really top ones we haven't faced yet are China and Azerbaijan, and it's possible we won't be playing against them, so I don't know. things are going well for us, but I don't really care about who we have left to play. I just want to focus on the chess.
Yeah, good stuff. But so, generally, are you enjoying Baku? Have you had a chance to look around?
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, I haven't looked around much just because I was already here for the World Cup, and so.
Yeah.
But I like Baku a lot. I think the Azeris really know how to treat chess players well, and they give really good conditions for all their foreign guests. And I've always played reasonably well while I'm here, so yeah, I'm quite happy.
Good stuff. Okay, well, listen, Sam, thanks very much for showing us your game.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Well, let me see. Hang on, how many rounds to go? 2 rounds to go.
Yes.
Yeah, really not long to go now. So USA in a very good position. Okay, listen, thanks very much, Sam.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll see you again here.
Okay.
In the splendid ChessBase commentary booth.
I'll do my best, but I'm not playing like I was in Tromsø, so maybe you'll need another occasion.
No. See you later.
See you guys
Thanks
later.
a lot.
Yeah.